This is a very controversial and very controversial
is.
topic, but this is something I really don't talk too much because I get bashed. But
Do you agree of divorce in the Philippines? Who do you think usually initiates the divorce? Why do you think divorce happen? How do you think the divorce will affect the children involved? Do you agree about abortion?
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's vlog, I have a guest in my channel finally. So today I have two beautiful Filipinas here from Dumaguete, or you're from Cebu. So please welcome guys, Leia and Shay. So can you guys introduce your channel?
Me first, okay. Hi everyone, my name is Leia. I'm from Cebu, but I'm also spending time here in Dumaguete City, and I have a channel called Expat Guide Philippines.
Yes, so you know her, Shay.
yeah, I've been here for like, I don't know, maybe 3-4 times. But
Yes.
yes, I am Shay, and my channel is Life with Shay. If you are into deep reflection, maybe in dramatic, please check our channel Life with Shay.
Yes, and we just did a video in her channel, so that is a very deep conversation. Nobody asked me questions like that. So if you're interested, check out our vlog that we did today on Shay's channel. So today's vlog, we're gonna talk about divorce here in the Philippines. We're gonna talk about if it's gonna be a legal thing here in the Philippines. So, Leia, Shay, why do you think divorce happened? So let's start with Leia.
Okay, why divorce will happen? Before I'm going to answer that question. I would just like to share the current information about divorce. It's actually being passed already and finally being approved in the House of Representatives, but it still need approval for the House of Senate, for the Senate and the president. So that's when it will become or be approved in the Philippines. So there's already like a fight of a lot of, it's like a hot topic everywhere if
Yeah.
divorce is something that should be approved in the Philippines because, of course, as a Catholic or a lot of conservative Filipinos, when it
Yeah.
comes to that, it's a hot issue. But for me personally, what's the question again?
Why
do
divorce
you
will
think-
happen?
Why do you think it will happen? For me, it will happen, hopefully, for me, because there's a lot of, how to say, issues of abuse, domestic abuse recently. And I think this can be a solution to that, not necessarily to really stop it or maybe to stop it because when someone is being abused domestically or someone is being abused, especially a woman, then she has like a leverage or something that she can use as a tool for the other party not to abuse her anymore, or if that person will not stop, then she can have the option to get out of the relationship if it has become really toxic to the family. So for me, yeah, maybe I'm hoping a lot, but I'm hoping that it will happen, and especially that now there's hope because the House of Representatives already approved it.
Yeah.
So just the Senate and the President will have to approve it. So yeah.
Yeah, and I just really hope that if it passes the Senate, the president is not going to veto.
Yeah.
So
I know.
that speaks that I strongly agree with the divorce law. So to answer your question, I think divorce is highly likely to happen in the Philippines because I believe that there is a significant demand for it. I think it's very hypocritical for me to say that the country doesn't need divorce despite of the increasing number of separated or annulled marriages. So there have been many separation and annulled relationships already, and divorce is basically I think divorce is like an easier option to end the misery of each party. And yes, so I think that, legalizing divorce is going to give a straightforward and equitable process for both parties and the children.
Yeah. So, speaking of children, how do you think the divorce will affect the children involved?
For me, it will affect no matter what.
Yes.
They have to face it. But then I think you have to see the longer benefit of how the family will be after the divorce, or if it's really needed, right? The children will, of course, have emotional, and it will probably cause trauma or something like that. But then it's up to you to really like make a choice. Like, would you be would you be staying in a toxic relationship and being abused,
Yes.
and the children can see that every day? Or would you rather have peace, and maybe you could still co-parenting, like it's still possible, if the other party is like open-minded, it's still possible to co-parent and have peace between you and the children. And of course, at first the children would not appreciate that. But then later on, when they're able to see the difference of seeing mommy and daddy that is like always fighting, and then not seeing that, and then also the mommy and is happy, I think the child would appreciate that more.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't believe that complete family but destructive way is still beneficial for the kids. You can still be happy and be a good parent to your kids even if you're separated. So good parenting is good parenting. It doesn't have to be involve the two of you to being together in a relationship. Complete family but you like hurt each other. It's not a good way to raise kids.
Yes, I completely agree with both of your stance about it. Like you said, Leia, either you stay in a toxic and unhappy marriage or you get a divorce, the kids will inevitably be affected.
Yeah.
But I would say that acquiring or obtaining divorce is going to spare the children from witnessing firsthand the turmoil and the complications of the marriage that the parents are creating. So yeah, I think it is a lot better to actually get divorced if the marriage is already irreparable. Is that the word?
Who do you think usually initiates the divorce? If the Philippine will approve divorce, who do you think?
First.
I think for me, it's not really a matter of women asking for divorce or men asking for the divorce, but I would say that people who go through the abuse, because men can be abused too. I don't know about these statistics, but we of course know that women are, abused. But yeah, men and women who are abused in the marriage, I would also say that those who are going through infidelity in bigamous relationship, to those whose life and their children's life are threatened by the respondent. Is it respondent or by the other partner? So, yes.
Yeah, I think you have said it all.
Yeah, I think it's the women usually that initiates the divorce, because mostly it's the women that is abused. I mean, there's men that are abused, but not like as much as women.
But sometimes because men are seen as the masculine figure, right? And sometimes the society looks at them like you have to be masculine all the time. So if you are being abused as a man, it is not so manly for you to actually tell your friends or to report to the police.
Yeah.
So that's why statistics wise, I wouldn't say it's a man or a woman who likely ask for divorce, because there are a lot of situations or occasions where men just really don't report the abuse. It might not be physical abuse because men are stronger than women, but it can be other forms of abuse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Verbal or
Emotional.
abuse.
Yeah, I'd like to add up on the emotional abuse because mostly when we say abuse, it's usually just we are referring to the physical
Yeah,
abuse.
physical.
But right now, I think people are more aware as well with the emotional abuse. And according to the law, the emotional abuse is actually equal to the physical abuse. So just to let everyone know, if ever, just be courageous enough to really like report or when it comes to abuse, it's not just physical but also mental and emotional. It's the same. It's the same according to the law of the Philippines. Physical abuse is equals to emotional and mental abuse.
and also I'd like to add to that economical abuse. There
That's a good
are
one.
families that, let's say, for example, the poorest of the poor. Let's say he has a construction job and he works every day, and he doesn't really give money to the wife, or he doesn't do groceries.
Yeah.
At the end of the week, he just goes out and drink Red Horse and all that. So the family is starving, and if that goes on for so many years, over and over, that is definitely, for me, has to be a ground for divorce.
Yeah.
Because why, as a responsible husband and father, why would you starve your
Yeah.
family?
Exactly. And even without divorce yet, they can actually report that he can go to jail. Or they have to do like a little, how to say that, agreement for the support. So
Yeah.
yeah, even without the divorce yet. But yeah, that's a very, very good point that you are adding.
Yeah, that's based on experience and based on what I see around me.
Do you agree of divorce in the Philippines? Like how strongly you agree?
I agree. 101%. But not because, to support people that just would like to get divorced. I think there's also like a guidelines. I hope so. I hope that it's not easy as well to just take it or can just apply it. I hope there's really like a strict guidelines like this is for the people who are really like as we mentioned earlier, the abused ones, and also those who are really not working out. Like if there's a strong issue, a strong reason for them not to be together anymore, I think it's really good for both parties and also for
Yeah.
the children. That's how I see it. I don't want I would like to like stress because they would say that divorce is just easy to just separate. No, there are guidelines in that, and I just forgot to like memorize all of the guidelines. But on the one that is being passed by the House of Representatives, the one that is being approved, they have like strict guidelines to who will be able to apply for the divorce. So if those guidelines are going to be the one that is gonna be followed,
Yeah.
I'm 100% gonna be yes for
Yeah, and
divorce.
it's also gonna be expensive because even the annulment is expensive. So how much the how much the divorce? How about you? Do you agree with divorce?
I strongly agree, and I can probably talk a little bit about the guidelines that you have mentioned earlier. I strongly agree with the divorce. I'd like to think that when I get married one day, my future husband is going to be the last person I'm going to be with forever. However, we cannot predict, or we cannot see the state of the marriage we're going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now.
True.
So at this moment, divorce is not for me. However, I strongly agree with divorce because there are really so many people. There is a huge number of people who are really wanting to have that passed as a law. The House Bill 9349, the Divorce Act, the Absolute Divorce Act, stipulated that the grounds for divorce are, the very first one is the physical violence. If your life as a partner, as a spouse, and your children's lives are in danger, if you're in a bigamous relationship, if you have a child or children outside marriage from another party, that is ground for divorce. Habitual alcoholism, drug addiction. If you have been separated for 2 years, legally separated for 2 years, that is ground for divorce. If your spouse abandoned you for a year, over a year, that is a ground for divorce. I know a lot of people are very concerned about getting, I mean, they're very concerned about divorce because they think that it's going to be abused or it's going to be easy to acquire it. But for me, if you fall under these grounds, yes, you definitely, are qualified to get a divorce. But if you don't fall in these grounds that I've mentioned earlier, then it's it's not for you. So not because the divorce has become a law that everybody has to get a divorce.
Exactly.
If your marriage is happy, if you're satisfied with it, then it shouldn't threaten you in any way.
Right. Right.
I mean, who would get divorced if you have a happy relationship,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
So people are like divided with this, with their stance about divorce because they think that it's going to break the marriage.
Yeah.
Well, the marriage has already been, it has already been long broken, or it already ended. Divorce is just really to formalize
Exactly.
the separation, the ending of the marriage.
Yeah.
They said that if the divorce bill will be passed and approved, there's going to be a big chance that abortion will be followed. So, do you agree about abortion?
No. That's something that I would really like. Big no.
Okay,
I know you agree with this. I am with previous.
we talked about this
We
before.
talked about this before.
I have my reservations, but yes, I do believe or I do agree with abortion. But there has to be, like you said, a strict guideline on who to get or who's qualified for abortion. I still remember your stance before about it, about the rape victims, they get pregnant
Yeah.
and all that. But really, for me, um, this is a very controversial and very
It is. It
controversial
is.
topic, but this is something I really don't talk too much because I get bashed. But yes, I am pro-abortion, but I still have reservations.
Yeah, I think abortion is not good for the society.
I think it really
It's
boils
bad.
down to the intention, you know?
But if you are a rape victim,
Yes, you said.
you were abused and you didn't really like this to happen. If you still, give birth to this child, which is the product of abuse, so how would you treat this kid if you are you are traumatized and you see this kid all the time?
You know, my biggest concern is health-wise. Later on, or probably like 5, 10 years from now, if we have screenings available to predetermine if your child is going to have whatever syndrome or probably going to be disabled for the rest of his life and all that.
Oh yeah.
I do not wish for my child to suffer the rest of his life or the rest of her life.
True.
And in that sense, I agree with abortion because it's not only the child's suffering, it's
also you.
suffering on your part as well. And what's going to happen when you go before your son, before your children, who's going to take care of them? So, in that sense, I approve.
So in any grounds, no.
Depends still. But if like what you have said, if you are really, I would say that it really boils down to the intention.
Yes.
Because when you say like just abortion, like easily legalized, like anyone can
Yes.
just do it, no. But if there's the guideline, like what you have pointed out, that's actually very true. And I would agree to the point that what's the point of raising the kid if you're not capable of, and especially if there's like abnormalities as you mentioned. But there are also people that are like accepting it as it is, as a challenge. And in my case, I would, if it happens to me, I would accept it as a challenge and I would still do it. So it really depends on the person. And I would respect you both. I actually respect your perception on that because for me, it all boils down to really, would you be able to really give love to this? Would you be
Sure.
able to raise it with love? And if
Yeah.
not, why would I put misery to these
Yes.
kids?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So in that, I really respect you for that. That's really a good point to point out also to the people right now, because it's something that is also like very hot and very
Yes.
you are bashed on it, but
Yeah.
I respect your opinion, and it's actually in my brain like, oh yeah, that's actually a very good point to notice.
You know, at the end of the day, it is a decision that you have to make, not the church, not the state,
Exactly.
Yes.
not other people.
Exactly.
It's
It's
a
you.
decision that you have to make, because you are going to spend the rest of your life with the kid. And like you said, you know, in cases where there are abnormalities and all that, it's not because you are incapable of giving love to your children. It's really the suffering that they're going to go through from the society.
Mm.
And
And
if,
maybe from you.
From
Yeah.
everything,
As a
yeah.
parent.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you guys for that was a very serious topic.
Right.
It's not a fun subject, but it's a very
It's very
informational.
informative.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I know it's a very hard subject. I hope that you guys learned something from the Filipinas perspective about divorce and abortion. And if you guys have thoughts about this subject, please comment in the comment section down below. So thank you so much, Leia and Shay.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And guys, if you are looking for more information about Philippines, in-depth subjects about Filipinas, make sure to check out Leia and Shay's channel. I will put their YouTube channel in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon. Paalam!
Bye. You did great.